Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Jayok here and welcome to another episode in our Custom League series here on 2K22 Season 3. And we have made it to the trade deadline special. This is the only thing that you'll see. No gameplay at all in this one. It's going to be strictly just trade deadlines. Appreciate everybody that got a chance to vote on trades. Sorry you're gonna hear beeping in this episode. My smoke detector is dying. I haven't been able to replace the battery in it yet. But we're gonna go ahead and get ready into the trade deadline now. You guys got a chance to vote on trades. If you guys did follow my social media and check out the one video I did post about how you guys could get involved on the channel, which how many trades did I give you guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 trades. There are 15 trades that you guys got a chance to actually vote on. And then, of course, there can be the little trades in the background that you guys get to see. But without further ado, I'm going to start it with the trades that you guys got to vote on. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, guys, so trade 1 was Seattle trading Jeremy Grant and Kenyon Martin Jr. to the New York Nightmare for Desmond Bain and Montrezl Harrell. Why's Herbert Jones here, you guys are wondering? Desmond Bain got hurt before the trade deadline. Nice. So I went with a guy same age, and Herbert Jones, of course, 24 years old. And I mean, the stars match up too. But regardless, this trade's going to be accepted. It was voted and accepted. Wow. Accepted. So our first trade sends Jeremy Grant and Kenyon Martin from Seattle to New York, where they'll be trying to contend for a playoff spot. Montrez will now head over to Seattle, maybe help the young core team, a young core over there. And then Herbert Jones, a young player with pretty good potentials, heading to Seattle now. So this was the first trade that was voted on and accepted outside of Desmond Bain instead of Herbert Jones. But the deal is complete. Staying with Seattle for this one, we had another deal. It involved De'Aaron Fox and Brandon Clark heading to the Montreal Huskies for D'Angelo Russell and Mikal Bridges. And this trade was very much accepted also. So KD is now swapping D'Angelo Russell for a younger guard and De'Aaron Fox. He's going to have to give up a talented defender in Mikal Bridges, but he'll get a young up-and-coming center in Brandon Clark also in this deal. So this deal was very much accepted by the fans. So in trade number 2, this is going to be complete. Our third proposed trade now sends us to DC, and the Federals offering their best player in James Harden, along with a young 3-star guard in Kennedy Chandler, to the Nashville Enemies. And proposed was getting Josh Giddey and Julius Randle in this. And by no surprise, this trade was declined by the fans. And I'm not surprised because Harden's 87 overall. He's 33 years old. He's going to end up regressing. Of course, he could have helped Nashville maybe can get there to their. Cause I mean, them, Baltimore and Illinois are top 3 in the East, and they're all separated by like a game or 2. So he could have maybe helped Nashville get over that edge and get the 1 seed and win a championship. But it's a smart move to keep Nashville the way they are, especially keeping Josh Giddey, who's young, 83 overall, 20 years old. I mean, he's definitely got a shot to keep progressing. I mean, Julius Randle definitely could have maybe got rid of him. But this trade was in fact declined by the fans. So we shall move on to the next proposed trade. Next up, another top team in the East was looking to upgrade, and DC offered RJ Barrett and Brooke Lopez to the Barons for young upcoming center Chet Holmgren, and then a pretty decent bench piece in Josh Green. Good value for both these guys. Brook Lopez one was kind of rough. And the fans actually did decline this deal. I'm surprised by that one. And, I mean, it probably works out for Baltimore getting to keep Chet. I mean, they would have got RJ, who's doing really good right now. Of course, he's on the last year of his contract and probably would have hit free agency. But, yeah, I mean, Baltimore's going to stay put with what they got right now. So, DC 0 for 2 on getting rid of players so far. So, let's move on to the next proposed deal. And guys, the last proposed deal was Mike Conley going to Kansas City for Bogdan Bogdanovic in the 26th second round pick. And Mike Conley has a broken ankle, so look what we have here. Another trade that will not actually be completed. And everybody voted to agree to this deal, so sucks for DC to not be able to get Bogdan. I don't think they have another guy age-worthy. I mean, if they wanted to, they could trade Isaiah Thomas. But that just doesn't look like a fair deal to me. Especially with the overall difference of 81 and 76. I mean, yeah, it's just not going to work out. So, sorry, DC. Go 0 for 3 in your trades. You get to keep your team around. But now we're going to move on to the next proposed deal. Alright, so Atlanta, in a trade with Milwaukee, offers Bobby Portis Jr. and Gabe Vincent. And in return, they would get Scotty Barnes, a 4-star player. And they would also get Jakob Poeltl. And the fans accepted this deal, actually. I'm surprised by that one. So Atlanta's going to get a young future superstar in Scotty Barnes, while, I mean, Milwaukee's going to improve their team by getting Bobby Portis Jr., who's not playing actually too bad right now, averaging 10 points, 8 rebounds. I mean, that's a good piece. Gabe Vincent off the bench is probably going to be a key, but they're giving up Scotty Barnes, who's averaging almost 14 a game. Jakob Poeltl's basically putting up what Bobby's putting up outside of the points. So, but the fans did accept this trade, so we are going to make it happen. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, our last deal by Atlanta was to offer Cam Johnson and Buddy Hield to Alaska for Damian Collins, who has 2.5 potential. He's 2.5 stars, is a 74, and then Saban Lee. And on this paper, and the fans did decline this deal, but if they would have accepted this would have been just a steal for Alaska to get a 79 and 77 for a 78 and a 74. That would have been a steal right there. But the fans did decline this deal. So Cam and Buddy have to stick around in Atlanta. I mean, Cam's going to probably be a free agent. Buddy's still got another year on his deal. But this trade was declined by the fans, so we shall move on to the next one. Alright, here we are. Carolina Cougars offering Spencer Dinwiddie a shout out for dropping 30 off the bench for the Mavericks, man. I'm recording this right after the Mavericks blew out Phoenix in Game 7 to move to the conference finals. Good God. Dinwiddie put off, bro, 30 off the bench. That's wild. But Dinwiddie and Jackson Hayes offered. In exchange, they would get Aaron Gordon and Bojan Bogdanovic. Overalls are the same. Stars are the same. And the fans accepted this deal. So we shall see Pittsburgh getting Spencer Dinwiddie, who's averaging 8 points, 4 assists. Probably going to play a bigger role for Pittsburgh. Jackson Hayes also averaging 8 points, almost 5 rebounds. So he's definitely probably going to play a better role for them. As for Pittsburgh, or Carolina, they will be receiving Aaron Gordon, who's averaging 11 points this season so far. And then they get Bogdanovic, 3-point specialist. He's averaging just over 9 points a game. So honestly, this is a win-win for both teams. So this deal will be accepted by the fans. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, so this deal on the form was T.J. Warren, Jordan Clarkson, and Jabari Parker to Arizona for Diallo and Duncan Robinson. But to even it up, I offered Carolina 2 second-round picks also in the deal. The fans did accept this deal. Arizona will be getting T.J. Warren, who's averaging just under 12 points a game. So we'll see what he does for them. For Jordan Clarkson, he's averaging 11.5 points. So he's going to be a good piece for Arizona as they chase a playoff spot. And then they'll also be getting Jabari Parker, who is averaging 7.5 points, 5.5 rebounds. So he's doing his thing. So maybe we'll see what his role is going to be like in Arizona. For Carolina, in return, they'll get Hamdou Diallo, who's averaging just over 12 points a game. So at 24 years old, he might have a good impact on this team. And they'll also be in the sniper Duncan Robinson, who's averaging 10 points a game, 45% from the three-point line, just how you expect Duncan to play for them. And then they'll also get the 2 second-round picks. So that's what we're going to see, and the fans accepting this trade. So we make it happen and move on to the next one. The last trade that the Carolina Cougars propose is Westbrook to the Minnesota Monsters for Evan Fournier. And this trade was accepted by the fans. So now let's take a look at what both teams are getting. For the Monsters, they get Westbrook, who's averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, shooting 31% from the three-point line. Fucking imagine. So they're going to get a pretty good player in Westbrook. And for Carolina, they'll be getting Evan Fournier, who's got another year on his contract. He's averaging 8 points, shooting pretty well outside of free throw. Definitely can get that up. But 2-star value for both players. So this trade is accepted by the fans. So we'll make it happen for you guys. Alright, so here we are. The LA Knights' turn. The Knights offered Porzingis and Alex Caruso to the Kansas City Bison for Andrew Wiggins and Miles Turner. And this trade was accepted. So all-star Kristaps Porzingis will now be heading to Kansas City. And let's check out what both teams are receiving right here. Kansas City will be getting Porzingis, the all-star, who's averaging just under 20 points a game, 8.5 rebounds. Shooting numbers are pretty well besides the three-point line. Definitely probably will improve that playing alongside Luka now. And they also get Caruso averaging 7.4, 4.2 assists, almost 2 steals a game. And he'll probably now come off the bench unless Luka's a shooting guard. He's either a shooting guard, small forward. He's something. Caruso's either going to come off the bench or he's going to start for this team. As for the Knights, they will be receiving Andrew Wiggins, who's averaging 13 points a game, 3 rebounds. And his shooting numbers are pretty well, too. So they get Wiggins. The only thing is he's only on a 1-year deal. They also get Miles Turner, who's on a 1-year deal. And his numbers, oof, not even that hot, really. 6.5 points, 5.5 rebounds. It's kind of disappointing year for Miles Turner, especially on a contract year. But he's an 82 overall center, 85 for a 86 and an 80. So Kansas City's just going to get better for Luka. So this trade was accepted by the fans. So let's keep it moving. Alright, the next proposed LA Knights deal is Chris Middleton and Nerlens Noel. I don't know why I always say Nerlens. Nerlens Noel to the Milwaukee Cheeses for Jalen Brunson and Zaire Williams. The fans accepted this deal. For Milwaukee, they'll be getting Chris Middleton, averaging 18 points a game for this Knights team. Just under 5 rebounds, just under 3 assists. He's shooting the ball really well. So that's going to be another good piece for Ja Morant. So definitely excited to see that for him. And then they get Noel, who's averaging just under 5 points, over 5.5 rebounds a game. Really good numbers for him. Don't know if he's going to be starting or not for them. For LA, they get Jalen Brunson, certified young star in this league now because of the way he's been hooping out with Dallas, averaging 13.5 points, 4.5 assists to go with 3 rebounds. His shooting numbers are pretty decent also. But he's on there a 1-year deal, so he'll be a free agent. Zaire Williams is probably, yeah, he's probably in the 2-year option thing for being drafted. But look at his numbers, averaging just under 10 points a game, and his shooting numbers aren't bad. So they get a young player in Zaire now, and yeah, Milwaukee gets better as they chase a playoff spot. So the fans accepted this deal, so we shall make it happen. Alright guys, the last LA Knights deal on the form was Will Barton, Royce O'Neal, and Kent Bazemore to the New York Empire for Caleb Houston and David Duke Jr. This trade was accepted by the fans. The only thing I added in was the 2 second-round picks. So, what teams are getting? For New York, they'll be getting Will Barton, who's averaging 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2.5 assists. And his shoot numbers are not that bad at all also. So can't wait to see what he does, probably coming off the bench for them. For Royce O'Neal, averaging just over 4 points, under 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He'll probably be coming off the bench also, but that's just added depth to help Giannis and them try to get into the playoffs. For Kent Bazemore, not really playing like that, of course, as a 72 overall. Don't know, he'll probably just come off the bench or play when they're blowing out teams. As for the Knights, they will be getting Caleb Houston in his rookie year, and he's doing pretty well, hooping out 9 points, just under 3 rebounds. His shooting numbers pretty good, 43%, 37%, 81%. There we go, we can talk. And then they get David Duke Jr., who's averaging just under 5 points, 2 rebounds, and his shooting numbers are really good also. So they're getting 2 young guards in their rookie years, plus they're getting 2 second-round picks for next year's draft to improve on the team. And this trade was accepted by the fans. So, let's make it happen for it. Alright, we're on our last 2 trades, and both trades involve Minneapolis, the Lumberjacks. And in this one, they offer Jordan Poole to the Baltimore Barons for CJ Elby and 3 second-round picks. This trade was, of course, accepted by the fans. Baltimore will be getting a young guard in Jordan Poole, establishing himself as a star of this league, averaging just over 12 points, a rebound, 2 assists. His shooting numbers are really good. He'll definitely be a key piece to help Baltimore make the playoffs this year. For Minneapolis, getting those picks, and they get CJ Elby, who hasn't really played like that. But they get the 3 second-round picks, so that definitely helps out. So, let's make this trade happen and talk about the last proposed deal. Alright, so the last proposed deal on the form was Ayo. I still have never been able to say his last name, but Ayo and Terrence Davis to Cincinnati for Theo Maledon and Chris Clemens. The only problem is Terrence Davis is hurt and can't be added to the deals. To try to make it a little even, I offered DJ Augustine and 2 second-round picks. Of course, the fans accepted the trade, but without them being able to get Terrence Davis, who was a higher overall, I just threw in Davis and 2 second-round picks to kind of make it even-ish. But let's see what both teams are getting. For Cincinnati, getting Ayo, a young player who's got 2 more years on his deal, 11.5 points a game. Also averaging just under 2 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and a steal. And his shooting numbers are really good also. So, good player. DJ Augustine hasn't played, but they get the 2 second-round picks. For Minneapolis, they'll get Theo Maledon, who's just averaging under 4 points a game, 1.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 34%. Yeah, his shooting numbers can definitely improve, but he'll probably have a better role in Minneapolis. And then they get Chris Clemens also, who has not played, but he might get a role in Minneapolis since they are not really competing for a spot. But this trade has been accepted. So guys, with that last deal, that's all the trades on the form. But of course, you know, I made little trades on the sides. So, just for the teams that are at the bottom, you know, just basically trading away like 1-year players, 1-year contract guys and all that. So, yeah, let's go over the rosters, of the new look rosters after the trades. Alright guys, we have officially made it to the end I've made all the trades. There's the rosters. Let's go over them. I'm already on Minneapolis, so this is just where we're going to start. Just go over the top 5 now. So we have Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner, my boy Ajax, Jaden Ivey, and Theo Meldon for them. Moving on, Toronto, Steph Clay, Jared Vanderbilt, Devin Vassell, and D'Angelo Dawkins, our custom prospect. They didn't change anything, it feels like. OKC, Bradley Beal, Robert Williams, Najee Ahmed, Rui Hachimarua, and Matisse Thybulle. You're just going to hear that beep all video. I'm so sorry, guys. For Illinois, Jokic, Jaren Jackson, Cameron Thomas, Jaden Hardy, and Salil Ahmed. So nothing really changes for them. Pittsburgh, Shea, Anthony Edwards, Spencer Dinwiddie, Kevin Porter Jr., and Marcus Smart. Pretty good 5 right there. Just don't really have a big man. Iowa's got Fred VanVleet, Terry Rozier, Kevin Huerter, Jabari Smith Jr., and Jayshawn Tate now. Pretty good 5. For St. Louis is Darius Garland, Zion, Gary Trent Jr., Lou Dort, and Alex Burks. Colorado Springs, Tyrese Halliburton, Cade Cunningham, Embiid, Clyde Blackheart, and Alfredine Sengun. LA Palms, Jason Tatum, Cat, my boy Josh Little, Jonathan Kuminga, and Cole Anthony. Pretty good 5 right there. Seattle, Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell, Mikal Bridges, Montrezl Harrell, and Isaac Okoro. That's actually not bad 5 for a team that's not supposed to compete. They might actually just turn everything around now. For Alaska, it's Ayton, Chris Paul, Sadiq Bey, Tyus Jones, and Jalen Green. Oakland still got AD, Evan Mobley, Tyrese Maxey, boy Jaden Barr, and Garrison Matthews. Nevada has got Clint Capella, Colin Sexton, Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, and Jalen Johnson. For Florida, it's Kawhi, Sabonis, Zion Admola, Fultz, and Kyle Lowry. For DC is James Harden, RJ Barrett, Markey Walker, Terrence Mann, and Darius Baisley. Baltimore has Siakam, Miles Bridges, me. Look at me, man. Chet Holmgren, and Jordan Poole. For Cincinnati is LaMelo, Bam, Jalen Suggs, PJ Washington, and Josh Christopher. Cleveland's got Jimmy, Zach LaVine, Anthony Simmons, Dwight Powell, and Devontae Graham. For Indianapolis, Trae Young, Tyler Hero, Nurkic, Reddish, and William LaVar Tyrese. For Montreal, KD, De'Aaron Fox now, Drummond, Brandon Clark, and Trey Mann. For Arizona, it's TJ Warren, DeJounte Murray, Steven Adams, Jordan Clarkson, and Grayson Allen. Nashville with Julius Randle, Josh Giddey, B.I., Valanciunas, and Zay Field. Shout out to my homie. For Kansas City, Luka, Porzingis joining the team now. Mo Bamba, Alex Caruso on the team also, and Emmanuel Quickley. So added pieces for Kansas City. Hopefully they can compete and try to get a championship. For Atlanta, Dame, Scotty Barnes, C.J. McCollum, Jakob Poeltl, and Cam Johnson. This team does not look bad right there. For the Cougars now of Carolina is Aaron Gordon, Hamdou Diallo, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Evan Fournier, and Duncan Robinson. For the Memphis Sounds, they have John Collins, Nikola Vucevic, my boy D'Lo, OG Anunoby, and Davion Mitchell. Milwaukee now has Ja Morant with Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Denny Adij. I've never been able to say his last name. So Denny and Nerlens Noel. So Ja's got help. Let's see what happens with it. Las Vegas with Kyrie, Rudy Gobert, Harrison Barnes, Obi Toppin, and Naz Reid. For the Empire, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, DeMar DeRozan, Derek White, Will Barton, and Royce O'Neal. Tampa Bay has Lonzo, Keldon Johnson, Marvin Bagley, Kevin Love, and Daniel Gafford. The Knights now with Andrew Wiggins, Jalen Brunson, Miles Turner, Jonathan Isaac, and Zaire Williams. Not a bad group right there. For the Monsters, it's Jaylen Brown, J.D. Hager, Draymond Green, Zeke Naji, and Isaiah Jackson. For Utah, we got Donovan Mitchell, Mitchell Trubisky, Isaiah Stewart, Malik Beasley, and Patrick Williams. The Richmond Rams, LeBron, Tobias Harris, jaywalking, Paulo Banchero, and Norman Powell. New Orleans Jazz with Paul George, Karis LeVert, Drew Holiday, Luke Kennard, and Benedict Mathurin. New York Nightmare, Kyle Kuzma, Jeremy Grant, Kenyon Martin Jr., Cameron Payne, and Desmond Bain. And that brings us back to where we started. So I appreciate everybody for the support on this trade deadline special. And we got something rare coming up next week. From Monday to Friday, it's an upload every day. And what I mean by that, I'm going to start here on February 19th. And these next 5 days, we will feature a game. And the game that's going to be featured is going to be the teams with the best combined winning percentage. So, except the 20th. On February 20th, there's only one game scheduled, so we will see the Iowa Pigs and the St. Louis Spirits go at it. So I'm probably going to try to avoid getting them twice, but we'll see what happens. I appreciate everybody for the love and support, though. This is definitely one of the shorter videos, especially with the last couple videos being kind of long. I apologize for that. Just had a lot going on, you know, Christmas Day, Kobe Day. Wanted to get you guys a bunch of gameplay for that. The All-Star Selection Show, of course, and then the other games going on with that. Wanted to hop into close games. So my apologies for all the long videos. Just want to get you guys as much content as possible so you guys see what's happening in the league. So yeah, next week, 5 games, 5 days. I hope you guys are excited about that. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss an upload. And with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one.
It takes time, I'm just trying to be the greatest. I gotta keep grinding, it takes time. You miss the shots you don't